Hello friends, my name is Marina and this is Rapunzel Fiber Arts. So I'm in a little bit of a new place today. I have changed locations for my filming setup, which I think is going to be good. I'm excited about it. I have more lights now and a microphone that I can play with, so that's exciting. In addition, I have gone through and gathered each and every whip that I own, which is not insubstantial. If you can hear a dog snoring, I apologize. He's being cute over there. But anyway, I have 2 bins. I have a box, a basket, and a bag, plus 2 other projects that aren't included in that whole conglomeration of whips that is currently behind my filming setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each and every one of those whips, show you what I've made so far, show you what it was supposed to be, and then decide if I'm going to finish it or frog it. And hopefully by the end of today, we will have gone through each and every one of those. And I'm hoping to get under 10. That might seem like a ton, but based on what I'm working with right now, I think that's reasonable. We might adjust that based on how many I am attached to right now, but the only ones that we're going to be looking at today are knit and crochet projects. I know I have my loom right here with a weaving project on it. We aren't going to be talking about that beyond what I just did. We're just going to be focusing on projects that are a little bit more portable and knit and crochet, not spinning or weaving or embroidery that I also tend to get into. So we will potentially get to some of those other crafts at a later date. But for now, we're going to stick to my knitting and crochet projects, which, like I said, are not insubstantial. So there's quite a few of them, but we will make some decisions today. So that'll be good. All right, I'm going to get the first bin and then we can go through it together. All right, so I've scooted back a little bit. I have the first bin, which as you can see is a pretty big bin. How big is it? Try not to drop it. It is a 54 quart bin. So, like I said, I have 2 of these and then some. So, we will get this on the ground and break it open and start looking at what we have. So, this is daunting. This is very daunting, but we're doing it together and I think it'll be okay. So, first project. This is this is a shawl that I'm working on, or that I have been working on. I haven't picked it up in a little bit at this point, and I'm mid-row, which makes it extra hard to show it off to you. But hopefully this way you can kind of see. It's like a striped shawl with a section of lace here at the top and then 2 different colored stripes separated by the same color as the lace. This shawl, I can't remember the name or the designer, but I will put it up on the screen for you and also link it down below. I really like this project. It's huge. It's got like 3 sections to it. There we go. Now you can kind of see. It's got 3 sections to it, so it sits over your shoulders and kind of wraps around you, and it's going to be so cozy and lovely. So this one, I'm going to finish it. It's going to take me a little while because at present there are many stitches on these needles, but they're pretty easy stitches. A lot of this is stockinette, and the lace is not too complex. You can kind of see that it's a pretty regular repeat, so it's not too crazy and distracting and hard to keep track of. So that's good. So this, my first project, we will be finishing. And I managed not to drop any stitches, which I'm very, very happy about. So, finish it. Next project. I think a lot of you are going to see this project and have a similar one in your stash, or at least at some point in your knitting career, you have had one in your stash. This is the Hexapuff quilt. Again, I will put information up on the screen and down below for each of these projects. But this was a very, very popular pattern where you knit these little hexapuffs. I have one in progress here that are just a hexagon that you stuff and then tie together to make a puffy quilt. So here's one of the ones in progress. You can see it's knit on 2 needles with like a third to do each row or each half row. And then you stuff it, do a 3 needle bind off or Kitchener stitch closed, and then you have a bunch of little hexapuffs that you then sew together to make a quilt. I don't think I'm ever gonna make this quilt because I have 3 hexapuffs and it's been sitting in this bin for over a year. So I think I'm going to, I'll probably keep these hexapuffs, but I'm not gonna have this as an active project. Just in case at some later date I decide to go back down this rabbit hole and make like a little lap blanket. That might be fun and cute. So I'll hold on to these hexapuffs, but I'm gonna frog this one because I have a whole ball of sock yarn that is still attached to it. So this one I'm gonna frog, but keep these guys in case I ever go down this rabbit hole again. But for the meantime, this can be a frog it project. All right. Next, we have, this is Handspun. This is Handspun Wensleydale. Hang on, I think I have a tag. This is Handspun Wensleydale from Spunky Eclectic. And I have 800 plus yards of it. And this really, really lovely, like purple and green and blue. So I love this yarn, but because it's Wensleydale singles, so it's not plied, it's just a singles yarn, this is going to be a pain in the butt to frog, especially since it's gorgeous, gorgeous lace. Let me see. So hopefully you can see a little bit of the lace here. It's very, it's got a lot of halo to it, so there's a lot of fuzz to this yarn, but you can see these lovely stripes of purple and blue and green knitting up into like a thick lacy shawl. I think because this is going to be super hard to frog, I'm going to keep working on it. Yeah, because I feel like this is going to frog similarly to mohair, and mohair is a pain to frog because all of these little wispy bits that make it so fuzzy and lovely really make it difficult to pull apart because they cling to each other and they tangle with each other, and then you're trying to frog it and it's all snagged. So this one I'm going to keep because it's really lovely. I have like 1.5 feet of it, and I think it's going to be a really nice like lacy shawl / scarf that I can wear. So yeah, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to try to make it more of a priority than it has been, because I don't think I've worked on this in quite a while. Yeah, for a spin date, I always try to record information with my skeins. So for the spin date, it has October 2017. So this has been a whip for quite a while. Not quite that long, but probably 5 years. So we're going to keep this project in my cute little Jurassic yarn bag. I will link the maker of these bags because I love a good dinosaur reference. Okay, we're making progress. 3 down, many to go, but we're making progress. All right. Got a sock. This is a toe-up sock that I've already taken off the needles. Yeah, we're frogging this. It's cute. It's a cute little sock with some ribbing on the top. But I already took it off the needles, and I tend to not like toe-up socks. I really struggle with placing the heel on them, so I think I'm going to just reknit this as a top-down sock and be happier in the long run and put this in the frog pile. So, number 4, we're frogging. All right. Whew. Next. I think this is another sock. Yep. Another sock. Also, that yarn, the main yarn for that last sock project, was from my friend at Valkyrie Fibers, and this is also a Valkyrie Fibers yarn that I have almost finished the first sock on. It's almost done. I've stopped for some reason, but I almost have an entire finished sock. Now, this particular sock has some staining on it because back when I was working, I spilled an entire container of tea in my backpack. So this has some really lovely brown striping in addition to the grayscale gradient that's on there. You can see that there's also a little bit of brown there and there that's striping thanks to my spilled tea. And then there's also a little bit of pink. Can you see the pink? Maybe you can see the pink right there in front of my finger. Which was from the folder that I had the instructions for this lace pattern in. So, I don't know. Oh. I think I have a dropped stitch. Oh, no. I have moth activity. It chewed right through my sock. All right. Well, I guess everything in this bin has to get baked. That's a pity. That is a pity. Okay. Well, that's good to know. This is good. It's not good, but it's good that we noticed. All right. Well, this just turned into a bigger project for me. So I'm going to keep an eye out for anything creepy crawly and carry on. And hope for the best, because that would really suck. All right. Next up, we have, oh my God, this is almost finished, but I don't think it fits me. This is, what's the pattern called? The Ripple Crop Top by Jessie Maid. And I think it's too small on me. It has a lot of stretch to it, but when I last tried this on, it didn't fit. And I was like, I'll hold on to it. Maybe I'll lose some weight, but I think I have to frog it, which is sad because I know I have some like cuts in this yarn from like these bralette cups, but yeah, I think that's what has to happen here. So this is also going in the frog it pile. If I didn't say that last project is going to get frogged, I just have to bake it first because moth activity. If you are unaware, I have a video up on my channel about dealing with wool moths. So I will be sure to link that up in the cards so that you can check it out if you need to hear more information about that. All right, we have another scrappy project. This is a crocheted hexagon granny style blanket that I started. It's very cute. This is all hand spun. But I do know that this blue and purple and white, can we get that less blown out? There we go. Which is very, very pretty. But it's also mostly alpaca. And if you've been around this channel for long enough, you know that my partner is allergic to alpaca. So this project is going to have to be frogged or something. I don't know if it's worth it to frog this because this is just like bits and pieces once it's all frogged. So maybe I'll donate that, but I can't keep this. And everything else looks like wool. Yeah, that's wool. So everything else I can save at least as scraps, but I think I'm gonna ditch these guys because this does have alpaca, and so I know I can't have it around my partner. So that's gonna have to be frogged. All right. Next up, this is the very top of a Christmas stocking that I was knitting, but I only just barely started it. This is also hand spun. I work a lot from my hand spun. So this is some Texel fleece and an Inglenook Fibers blended braid that I spun up. And this pattern was going to be a Mary Hunt dinosaur stocking. But I think I'm gonna frog it. I have other of her patterns that I'm more interested in knitting that are like sweaters and cowls and stuff that are a little more applicable than a stocking. So I think this I'm gonna frog and repurpose the yarn for something else. But yeah, this is gonna go in the frog pile. All right, I think we're making good progress. We said we were gonna keep like two so far out of all we've done. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna frog these all either in a separate video or off camera just for simplicity. Yep, this is also an alpaca blend. So this is also gonna have to go away, which is sad. I had this really cool colorwork project planned, but yeah, the base is mostly alpaca. So sadly, that cannot reside in my home. So that will go and get frogged or donated. Oops, I forgot about this from earlier. That'll go in one of those bags to be frogged. All right, next, and this is a huge project. Huge project. Nice and big. This is a temperature blanket I was working on, but it's not a temperature blanket for a year. It's temperature blanket over 100 years. So I went through a lot of historical records for my state of Massachusetts. I got the Boston area, and I started knitting a temperature blanket with 1 or 2 stripes, so one garter ridge for every year. And obviously I've only made it a couple years, and I have a lot more yarn to work through. But because this has many, many, many ends, and I spun this yarn specifically for this project out of my Rollags, I'll show you some of the other yarns. I don't want to get rid of it. I made enough yarn for this project specifically. I'm just checking the bottom of the skeins to make sure I don't see any other moth activity. But like, I did a full rainbow, Roy G. Biv. This is my indigo, which I called Indigo Montoya, which I really loved. But anyway, I'm going to keep this project. It needs to get back on the needles because at present my size 7 needles are caught up in a different project, which you will see in a little bit. But yeah, this is gonna be a save. And that's almost the whole first bin. This last thing, I was knitting a little slip cover I have these reusable heat packs that I really like for the cold seasons. But they get really, really warm and you need a layer between that and your skin or else it is kind of too hot to touch. So I was knitting like a little cover out of this really nice, soft merino cashmere nylon. But I think I'm going to frog this. I haven't touched it in a while and I make do with those things. So, with the heat packs. So, I think I'm going to frog this. All right. That's the first bin. All done. So, we can move on to the next one. All right, friends. We are back with bin number 2. We're making good progress. We have kicked out a whole bunch of whips that are going to be frogged, which is good because this is the newer bin with more projects that I'm attached to. So this is going to be a harder bin to take care of. But it'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. First off, we have another sock. Also dyed by my friend Lauren at Valkyrie Fibers. And this is her Fiber Coven colorway, Witch's Brew colorway, which is based on the Fiber Coven, which I am a part of. It's just a little podcasting community that they have, Lauren and her friend Emily. So this is a sock, top down, pretty basic. I was going to do an afterthought heel to learn how to do that style of sock because I've never done an afterthought heel before. So I think I'm going to hold on to this. It's pretty much a finished sock with an afterthought heel. I have a couple more inches plus a toe and the heel. But yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to this. This is a almost finished project. Well, almost finished sock. And I don't think it's worth it to frog it. So I'm going to save it. So that's going to be a finish eventually kind of project. All right, next up, this is an older project, but one that I am almost done with. It is, excuse you, my dog just walking through paper bags and now he's rolling around. Okay. This is an almost finished shawl. It is a design by Emily of Kitty with a Cupcake, who I was just mentioning. And all I have left to do is a knitted on border, and I'm halfway done with that. So I'm going to finish this because it's a huge lace shawl that I've put a ton of work into, and it's practically done. So I'm going to finish this. All I have left to do is a knitted on bind off. Granted, I hate knitted on borders. That's what they're called on lace shawls. But this is all hand spun. I've knit the whole thing. I'm just going to frickin' finish it. It is not something I'm going to enjoy finishing, but I'm going to be very happy when it's done and huge and cozy and able to wrap around myself. So this is going to be a project that we are going to finish. All right. Next up, another sock. I have so many sock projects. This is a color work sock, so it's a little bit more engrossing than just a stockinette sock. I mean, it is stockinette, but it's color work stockinette. So this is a sock design also by Emily of Kitty with a Cupcake, also using yarn from Lauren over at Valkyrie Fibers. And I'm saving this. It's gorgeous. I only started it like a month ago, so we're gonna hold on to this and get it finished because it's really, really pretty. And I love it. It looks like stained glass, just peeking through with the bright colors from this yarn. Look at that. It's so nice. Okay, anyway, that is going to be a finish it project. See what I mean? This bin might all be finish it projects. This is why I was like, maybe I'll be able to stick with 10 whips, because I love them all. It's a problem, but one that I enjoy, so that's good. Next up, another hand spun shawl. This is the Ahsoka Shawl by Knit Graffiti. I have almost finished the first kind of triangle which composes this shawl. I have a little bit more to do, but I enjoy knitting this. It's really fun. This is like a nice textured brioche section, and then there's this lace. So I'm gonna hold on to this. Both because it's really pretty and it's hand spun, and I think it would be a little bit hurtful to frog it. Like, it would hurt me because I really, really love it. It's so pretty and so squishy and luscious, and I don't want it to go away, so I'm going to keep it. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're getting close to 10, and I don't think we're gonna make it, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, next up. All right, this was part of the summer tank project that I'm working on. This is the Pollinator Tank by Hook Mountain handmade, I think. I'll put it up on the screen just like I've been doing for all of these projects. And it's lovely. It's coming along great. This isn't going anywhere. I did have to steal my size 8 needles. Oh, can you not read the tag? I guess not. Well, it just says the size needles that this is that this was using and the brand. And then I just use a safety pin with a tag and put it through the ends of the interchangeable needle cord, and that keeps the project for me. So this is going to be finished eventually. It just isn't the top priority right now, and we'll get to the top priority stuff soon. All right, we're almost done with this bin. Next up, this is the Traveler Hoodie by Andrea Mowry, and I've barely started it. It's just a little baby. But this is hand spun. This is a hand spun Romney fleece that I did from scratch from the raw. It still smells sheepy. It's so lovely. But it's this really nice chocolatey brown, which you can see is catching the light really lovely. And I have a lot going on, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this. I might frog it later. We'll have to wait and see. It's been on the needles for a couple months and I haven't made a ton of progress with it. I feel like this stitch pattern is challenging me a little bit. It's not difficult. It's, I think, 2 rows of purl and 3 rows of knit that you just repeat, but it's just not interesting to me. And I have a lot that I have to do because it's a hoodie. So it's going to be a lot of knitting, and I'm not ready to frog it yet, but I might. So this is going to go in the finish it pile, but we might come back to it later and decide to frog it. All right. This is the last thing in the bin, and it's almost finished. This is a emotional support chicken, and I've already made one of these. This is my second one, and it's essentially done. I have to knit the wattle and the comb and sew her up, but she's done. Like, that's done. I'm not frogging that for sure. I just need to go ahead and finish her, which I would like to do in a video, which is why I've been putting it off. I want to do like an overhead filming setup and record me sewing her up. So yeah, I'm not frogging this. It's gonna stay a little bit longer and hopefully get finished soon because she's essentially done. So, all right, that's this bin. We've got a couple more projects left to go, and then we'll be through it all. And I think we've culled like half the projects. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, friends, we're back. We've gone through 2 bins. We've got a little bit left to cover. Most of it is crochet projects. So that kind of makes sense. We had mostly knitting projects so far. Now we're diving into some of my slightly more active crochet projects. No, stay. I can't pet you right now. I'm trying to record a video. Dog, being cute. Okay, so if you have been around for a little while, you might have seen the video that I put out, I don't know, maybe like a year ago now, about Mosaic crochet covered zippered pouches. I will link it up in the cards for you, but if you were unaware, this is kind of what it looks like. It's using a bunch of different colors of yarn and just doing stripes of mosaic crochet, covering a zippered pouch like this. And you just work into the zipper, the fabric surrounding the zipper, and pick up stitches and go from there. And it makes a really, really nice covered plastic pouch. So I have 3 of these going on right now. I have these 2, which you've already seen. And then I have this one, which is enormous, but I kind of love it. It's worsted weight, like just acrylic yarns that I found at my local craft thrift store. And I really like it. It's working up great. It's a little bit unwieldy because of the shape of it and the size of it, but I think it's working up really prettily. So I'm gonna hold on to all 3 of these, both because it's a pain to frog them and because I enjoy working on them. I just don't always work on them. So I'm gonna hold on to these. I don't think it would make much sense to frog because at this point each row is an individual strand of yarn. Like it's a long strand, but like I've cut every row. So I don't think it makes sense to really frog these because of that. I'm just gonna keep chugging away on them whenever I have time. And I think that's what I'm gonna do with these. This big one and this tiny one are both plant-based fibers or man-made fibers, whereas this one's wool. And I especially like having the non-mothy options for storage purposes. I mean, just based on what we saw today, it's nice to have stuff that's moth-proof just for safety reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these, and then we've got just a couple of things left. All right, we are down to the last couple things. I've got this basket, which has a sock, which I'm gonna frog. It's really pretty. I like the color a lot, but I have too many socks going on, and this is just another basic stockinette, or is it ribbed? It's ribbed, but I don't have to have another sock project, and this can go wait in my sock yarn stash and just live there until I'm properly ready to cast on another sock when I don't have like 4 or 5 other sock projects going on like I do right now. So that's gonna go in the frog pile. Next up we have, this is also handspun yarn. This is, or was, going to be a knit balaclava with like a little panel to cover your chest area. If you have like a shirt that's not covering that part of you, like if you've got like a V-neck shirt. So this was made with that intention. I don't know if I'm gonna keep working on this. I did put a lot of stitches into it, but I'm not very attached. This is an older project, can you tell? It definitely does tend to be that the newer projects that I've been working on more recently and that are a little bit more exciting, I tend to forget about all the effort that I've put into something and just be like, nah, I'll frog it. So, I think I'm gonna frog this, but I'll check with the intended gift recipient to see what they think, just to be sure, because because it was intended to be a gift for my boyfriend, so if he's like really attached to having it, I'll make it for him, but if he's not, then maybe I'll just frog it. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so next up we have a test knit and a commission, 2 different things. First, the test knit. This is the Ribbit Camisole by Celine Phaeton, which I have been working on very, very hard. I really want to get this done. It's going to be so pretty and so comfy, and I just love it. This isn't going anywhere, both because it is a test knit and because I am actively working on it and making great progress. I really like the design on this. Hang on, I'll hold it up for you. It's got this like V going down the middle with the ribbing that I really like. And it mirrors that on the back, but the back doesn't have some of the bust shaping, so the back is a lot shorter looking than the front. This is going to be a keep it. I'm going to finish this in the next month or two because that's when the test knit is due, and I'm making good on that. I'm about halfway done with my yarn. So assuming I have enough yarn for the project, I should definitely be able to get this finished in the next couple weeks, because this is only like 2-ish weeks of knitting. I had done more, but ended up needing to frog. I have a whole other video coming out about that in the future, but yeah, this is definitely staying on the needles. All right, and then after that, I have a cat couch, which is currently in pieces. It's using these 2 yarns, which are just some basic acrylic Michaels brand yarns. This is the main color, and this is the contrast color for the blanket and some other details. So that's coming along great. This is a commission, like I said. I have a friend who sent me a reel with a cat couch and was like, "This is so cool." And I was like, "Do you want me to make you one?" And I was like, "If you pay me a reasonable amount, I will make you one." And she said, "Sure." So I'm making her one, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. I have this piece which wraps around the base, and then I have both couch cushions done. They just need to be stuffed. And then the blanket is also done. So that is also going to remain an active whip because I need to get it done for her, and I'm enjoying it. So it's not going anywhere. All right. This is the last one. And this is one I'm not really sure about, because I've made a lot of these. This is a stitch pattern, which I will put all the information for on the side, but it is for a pair of overall shorts using granny squares. And I've knit a bunch of the granny squares. Like, I have many granny squares. That's like a third of them. So I think this is like mostly done with the granny square part, maybe only half done, but I think mostly done. So I might need to get more yarn, more of this light purple for sewing everything together and all of the like parts that aren't made up of granny squares. Unless I have enough of this gray left over, and then I might use that, because I think that would go pretty well as like a neutral to go along with the purples and greens. Yeah, because I have 3 balls of this, and the pattern calls for a little bit more than 2 for the cat couch. So I think I'm going to save the leftovers of this for my crochet overall pattern. So that's going to stay as well. And I think that's everything. I think that's all my whips. Yeah, I did it. I went through all my whips. Yay! Okay, I'm going to get a full count on the screen for you of like totals that I am going to finish and that I'm going to frog. I put up lots of footage of all of these items for you to look at in a little bit more closely without me just holding it up to the camera. And I really hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see a video of me frogging all of the projects that I'm planning on frogging, or if this was satisfactory and you're just happy to see me cull my very substantial whip stash. So yeah, I don't think we made it under 10, which is unfortunate, but acceptable. I'm okay with it. We've emptied a bin, essentially, of whips, and that's enough. I'm happy with that. That's good. It's good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you maybe learned something. I don't know. I don't feel like I educated anything today, but I hope that you had a nice time watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all of my active whips and how crazy I am sometimes to just keep casting things on, but I'm happy. I'm glad we got some culls. I have to go bake some wool now to make sure it is moth free, but that's easy enough. I can do that. So I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you take care. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. It really does help me, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, friends.